After completing the NEETS Assessment School Excellence Inventory, the area of evaluation scored the lowest with 4 out of a possible 7 points, which is a difference of 3 points. The area of evaluation was based on how students are assessed and the feedback they receive from these assessments. 2 particular areas that my school scored the lowest on was number 15. Students receive prompt feedback on their work, and number 19. Techniques are used to pinpoint individual students' strengths and weaknesses. As a future educational leader, I feel that this is one of the most critical areas that need to be improved upon because instruction within the classroom should be driven by data from student assessments and feedback. It is very possible that instruction in the classroom is not being geared towards strengths and weaknesses because teachers are not utilizing effective teaching strategies and not providing students with feedback. My school is a neighborhood elementary school serving students in pre-K through grade 8 with a student population of approximately 800 students and 1 administrator. We have inclusion at every grade level as well as a resource room for kindergarten through grade 3 and self-contained special education classrooms at every grade level. General education classrooms are self-contained up to grade 3 with teachers teaching every subject, and grades 3 through 8 are departmentalized with teachers only teaching 1 or 2 subjects all day. The teachers at my school are varied in terms of their experience, with about a third being novice teachers with 1 to 3 years experience, another third of the teachers who have between 4 and 18 years experience, and the final third of teachers having between 19 to 40 years of experience. In addition to performing their regular classroom duties, half of the faculty performs extracurricular duties and activities either before or after school or during lunch. Due to time constraints and extra duties and activities these teachers perform, it becomes very difficult for teachers to meet with one another unless it is during a scheduled PLC or professional development training. The model that I chose for my professional development activity is the observation and assessment model. The reason why I chose this model is because without direct feedback, a major link to motivation is lost. The observation assessment model provides opportunities for teachers to give the feedback to each other that may not always be available from the principal. Since my building only has 1 administrator and 55 faculty members with varied years of experience and limited time for scheduled PLCs and staff development days, I feel this model will be best suited to help teachers receive the feedback they need by reflecting and analyzing the observations their peers make in order to implement changes in their instruction to tailor to student strengths and weaknesses. Professional development activity. This professional development activity will be a year-long continuous activity that will require 0 funding and can be sustainable in the future. As an educational leader, the first thing I would need to do in September is to create a list of teachers to pair up with one another to use as peer coaches. For example, since my current faculty population has varying levels of teaching experience, I would need to carefully pair up a teacher who might be in the disengagement stage and can become revitalized during the stage by having opportunities to contribute to the growth of others by pairing them up with a teacher in the survival and discovery stage who need to be guided in ways that help them see teaching from a broader perspective. After carefully pairing up the faculty members according to their number of years of teaching experience, I would then need to create common prep periods for these pairs of teachers that ensure them time to meet for at least 1 period per week. Teacher pairs will then be required to observe each other's classrooms at least once a month. During this time of observation, teachers will be able to see areas of strengths and weaknesses that can be discussed and developed in areas that can help benefit and drive instruction in the classroom. During these common prep periods, these teacher pairs will meet to discuss and analyze their observations and data they made while observing the class and giving their feedback. From this feedback, both teachers can begin to develop more effective techniques they can implement in the classroom that highlight students' strengths and weaknesses and plans of action to take. Strengths. By implementing peer coaching among faculty members, this will help to expose teachers to different grade levels and subject areas throughout the process. Peer coaching will also help to provide teachers with more direct feedback because of the number of times they will be meeting, once a week, as opposed to the 2 to 3 times a year they are observed and provided feedback by administration. Reflecting and analyzing on the feedback from one another helps to facilitate professional growth for each teacher, as well as improving upon individual teaching techniques by observation and feedback from one another. The observation and assessment model also helps to improve classroom performance while improving the school as a whole for both the teacher and observer because reflection is mutually occurring. Challenges. Challenges that will be faced in the observation and assessment model will be scheduling and making sure the selected pairs of teachers have common prep periods, as well as getting faculty members comfortable enough with one another so they can give honest critiques and feedback to each other. Faculty will have to be given instruction and training on constructive criticism and how to keep the critiques positive, which will help to gain mutual respect for one another in developing areas to improve teaching techniques for students and improve the school as a whole.